Madam Deputy Clerk, the time is now 7:02.
It is now 7:02, and I would like to call a regular Township Council meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please? Councilwoman Perone,
Present.
Councilman Anderson,
Present.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Present.
and Mayor Whitfield.
Present.
I'd like to invite Deacon George Phillips from Alpha Baptist Church to lead us in tonight's prayer.
Good evening, Deacon Phillips.
Good evening, everyone. If we would just kindly bow our heads. Lord God, we ask you to edify your people tonight, Lord God. We ask you to move in a mighty way this evening, Lord God. We ask that your grace would abound in all decisions, Lord God. We ask, Lord God, that you would move like never before, Lord God. And we just thank you, Lord God, for a place, Lord God, where you can work, Lord God. So we thank you this evening for this panel, Lord God. And we thank you for those who are in the audience, Lord God. Bring forth, Lord God, your word tonight, Lord God. This we ask in the mighty name of our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you for having me.
Good evening.
May we please rise for the flag salute? Notice was provided in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 to the Burlington County Times, Trenton Times, and Philadelphia Inquirer, stating the date, time, place, and the agenda to the extent it was known. Additionally, notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Deputy Clerk. At this time, we will have our proclamation for endometriosis.
Proclamation recognizing March as Endometriosis Awareness Month. Whereas March is recognized nationally and internationally as Endometriosis Awareness Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness of endometriosis, a chronic and often painful disease in which tissue similar to the lining of the uterus grows outside the uterus, causing inflammation, severe pain, and potential infertility. And whereas, according to the Endometriosis Foundation of America, endometriosis affects approximately 1 in 10 women and individuals of reproductive age worldwide, impacting millions of people and their families. And whereas, despite its prevalence, endometriosis remains widely misunderstood and underdiagnosed, with many individuals waiting years to receive a proper diagnosis due to lack of awareness, stigma surrounding menstrual health, and limited education about the disease. And whereas Endometriosis Awareness Month serves to shine a light on the physical, emotional, and economic impacts of this disease, promote education about symptoms and treatment options, and advocate for increased research and medical understanding. And whereas raising awareness encourages earlier diagnosis, improves access to care, and fosters a more supportive community for those living with endometriosis. And whereas residents, community organizations, healthcare providers, and educators can support this effort by learning about endometriosis, sharing information, supporting individuals affected by the disease, and participating in awareness and advocacy efforts that help break the stigma surrounding menstrual and reproductive health. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Mayor Samantha E. Whitfield, along with the entire Township Council of Willingboro, do hereby recognize March as Endometriosis Awareness Month and encourage all residents to support efforts to raise awareness, promote education, and advocate for improved research, treatment, and support for those affected by endometriosis.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. All right, we will move right along, and we will go to Mr. Dwayne Harris, our Township Manager, for the resolutions for his manager's municipal updates.
Good morning, Mayor and Council, members of the Willingboro public. It's not the morning. Oh, good evening. I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay? Is it loud? Okay. Just a little summary of the report of things that have been happening in Willingboro since the last time we met. The Finance Department, they had a cumulative revenue of $17,959,567 through February of 2024. We had a total appropriations expenditure in the amount of $2,086,108 and some change. Finance also tracks major disbursements totaling $5,869,411. $3 million of that was to the Board of Education, and the balance was to the county's first quarter tax share. And the CFO and I are working to prepare preliminary budget numbers, which should be finalized next week. And we are preparing for our budget presentation at the first meeting in April. Our police department is still sworn with 70 total officers. One is deployed for 12 months with the Air National Guard. Service calls continued throughout February despite snow and freezing rain events that produce severe weather conditions locally. The department also made an effort to push out crime prevention messaging through social media and local media partners around vehicle burglaries and encourage residents to continue to call 911 to report suspicious activity. And they also continued community outreach by hosting their third annual Black History Month event. Our fire and EMS department continued to stay busy both in and outside of Willingboro. Last month saw some significant in-town emergencies, including a fully involved vehicle on Briardale Lane and a vehicle accident with extrication on Veterans Parkway and Garfield Drive. During the month, the fire department also responded outside of the township on numerous calls to assist our neighbors in Burlington County, Burlington City, Burlington Township, Delran, Edgewater, Mount Laurel, and West Hampton. February saw some significant community-facing activity, including hosting adults from ARC of Burlington County at station number 73 and meeting with students at Garfield Park East. A certified CPR Heart Saver course with recreation staff was conducted, and a course in action supporting a local 5K race and providing CPR training to virtual hospital employees as well. EMS continues to have staffing level issues to full-time EMS. Our EMTs are still on workers' compensation. We have advertised to backfill the two other full-time vacancies that were caused by two EMTs going from full-time to per diem positions. Engine 1612 came back from getting their radiator fixed, but now has a transmission mount issue that currently has the fire engine out of service, and we are waiting for a quote for a repair to the same. Engine 613 is still out of service from the accident from over the summer and the small fire that occurred at the repair shop. The insurance adjuster did come out to look at the last issue, which was the fire, and we are currently waiting their decision on whether or not the vehicle will be totaled or if it can be repaired. Our DPW department cleared snow during two major February snow events. One consideration is that they had to operate without salt during these two events, but roads were kept open and reasonably passable. We have since received both of our salt deliveries. DPW continues making progress on the Mill Creek EV electric vehicle charging station project, as well as the JFK Center bathroom renovations on the Performing Arts Center side of the building. They have completed the installation of furniture in the human resources, the training room. That's been completed. Cleanup and relocation projects are underway at JFK, and the rollout of the new street signage will begin in the third week of March, and we'll start in Deer Park. DPW collected 154 bags of trash, emptied 66 32-gallon cans, emptied 35 55-gallon cans, delivered 20 recycling carts, 21 trash carts, and repaired 119 potholes during the month. They inspected and cleaned 278 catch basins, and we did say goodbye to a longtime supervisor, Mr. Donald Thompson, who retired as well last month. The inspections department has been busy. Total inspections hit 938 with 560 violations issued. 31 summonses were issued and 356 compliance closures were completed. They did grant 22 extensions during the month and completed a number of UCC inspections, CO inspections, rental resale inspections, and issued 42 zoning permits. Inspections also reported residential and commercial vacant properties, which stood at 177 and 20 respectively. And total revenue for the department was $91,382 for the month. Two of our employees in that department, Corey Sanders and Kashi Clark, started the zoning officer training program through Rutgers University on March the 13th, and that will continue through May the 8th. Their participation will strengthen the inspections department team by expanding the number of staff members with a working knowledge of zoning regulations and compliance. And this training will enhance the department's ability to support zoning reviews and improve overall code enforcement operations. Recreation continues to add new programs such as Chess Club, Chicago Stepping, Faithfully Fit, and Spin. They have also made organizational improvements by expanding their communications through a monthly newsletter to the school district and a bi-monthly newsletter for internal staff communications. There is a new employee on deck who will be coming on board soon to oversee Camp Sun and Fun, and the department is looking to continue expanding its programming to include mental health awareness, financial literacy, technology, media literacy, and overall wellness. Program on deck for the summer includes an upgraded Camp Sun and Fun program, Borough Explorers, and the drone technology program scheduled to start in May. And there are tentative plans for a women's mental health series as well. Recreation did generate $9,879 in revenue from programming during the month of February, with the largest share coming from youth soccer, almost at $6,000. Our vital statistics reported a total of 97 birth certificates were filed, 18 marriage certificates, and 17 death certificates. And the mayor also conducted 3 weddings during the month. So overall, February was a month of continuing to provide services through winter conditions. staying active on public safety calls and mutual aid, and keeping up with inspections, code activities, and staying busy in public works and carefully rolling out new recreation programs. Ms. Jackson was not able to be with us, but she did send the updates for events happening in Willingboro during the month of March. On Sunday, we are hosting a springtime lunch with the Easter Bunny at the Kennedy Center, and that's on the 22nd. I just don't have the energy and flair that she has, doesn't. I'm sorry. Parents and guardians and children aged 12 and under are invited to join us for an afternoon of Easter crafts and games, lunch with the bunny, photo ops, and more. The cost is $20 per family. Registration is closed, but if we have families who are still interested in attending, we have about 20 more slots we can offer. So please contact us at information@willingboronj.gov. This year's Phenomenal Woman Award celebration will be held on March 29th, 2026. We are excited to share that we have identified 6 wonderful women as this year's honorees. Honorees include Nancy Miller, Claudine Archer, Amber Henley, Malika Morris, Renata Aline is our youth trailblazer, and Antonia Williams is our Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. We will celebrate these women on Sunday, March 29th at 3:00 p.m. and look forward to a wonderful afternoon and celebration of phenomenal women. We are excited to share that Joylette Heilich, the daughter of Hidden Figures, owns Catherine Johnson, who will serve as the keynote speaker, and Jennifer Lewis Hall, host and producer of PHL 17's Public Affairs program, will serve as the host and MC. The event will include good food, good music, and good fellowship. And the deadline for tickets is this Friday, March 20th, and please join us. We have several classes, programs, and sports activities that are available and open to the entire community. The Brotherhood Brunch Series will kick off on April 4th, and the Financial Literacy Series begins on April the 9th. And more information is available at www.willingbororec.com. And information and updates will be forthcoming as we begin to transition willingbororec.com to a new platform, Civic Rec. This will align with the township's new website, which will be powered by Civics Plus. Please stay informed and up to date by signing up for the Willingboro Weekly. Follow us on social media and download the Willingboro app to stay connected and stay informed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Does council have any questions? All right, Mr. Harris, I did have one thing. I talked to you just a little earlier about the sidewalks being torn up associated with PSE&G work. I know some of them have been backfilled with asphalt. And can you just give us an update just to let residents know what's going on with that?
So part of the program is not only changing the gas lines in the street, but it's also the connection boxes from there to their homes. So that's probably what you are seeing, them digging up those connection boxes. But I will make sure that they are properly backfilled, not with blacktop. They should be concreted or, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And are there any updates on the JFK track for completion date? I know we're getting really close to spring, and some of our spring recreation programs are being affected.
So the track is, well, there is no updated completion date because they haven't begun restarting the work after the winter. I did reach out to the engineer on that project, and I haven't heard any responses back from them, but I will continue to reach out tomorrow and see if I can get something more definitive.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. All right, we can move on to the resolutions overview, ordinances and resolutions.
So being presented for your consideration this evening is ordinance number 2026-08, which is an ordinance of the township adopting an amendment to the 4284 Route 130 Development Plan that was dated February in 2026. Resolutions being considered is resolution number 2026-71, authorizing the approval of vouchers for payment and ratification. Resolution number 72 is authorizing refunds for overpayment of taxes. Resolution 73 is a resolution authorizing an emergency temporary budget. This is in relation to the collapse of the outfall on Pageant Lane. We did declare an emergency there, and it is anticipated that that cost is going to be $336,581 to repair that outfall. And we need to include an emergency budget for that because our final budget has not been adopted. So this particular resolution will go to funding that particular situation. Resolution number 2026-74 is a resolution authorizing transfers between 2025 budget appropriations reserves. This is the last opportunity for us to cover any budgetary line shortfalls for the year 2025. Resolution number 75 is a resolution authorizing various change orders for a contract with J.H. Williams Enterprises. They are the contractors that are completing the Phase 2 of the Performing Arts Center project. That project is essentially finished, the Phase 2 portion of it, and they are just completing some checklist items, which for the most part are very general. And this change order is expanded over several change orders, but the totality of which would be an additional $35,336.18, which represents a 3% increase to the total contract price, taking it from $1,109,022.28 to $1,144,358.46. Resolution number 76 is a resolution authorizing the purchase of additional auditorium seating for the Willingboro Performing Arts Center and awarding a new contract to Longo Associates. This was something that was discussed for several months, and because of some issues contracting with Longo, it has been delayed far longer than we had hoped. But we are finally going forward with the acquisition of those additional seatings. Resolution number 77 is a resolution authorizing the township to establish a not-to-exceed amount for Belia Division or Design, Print, and Mail for the provision of print and mailing services. This will ensure that all of our print and mail for the 2026 contract year is funded, and that will allow us to continue providing reliable and timely printing and mailing services, which include the mailings for the activities, different activities in the township, as well as the annual calendar. Resolution number 78 is a resolution authorizing the extension of a fair and open contract for grounds maintenance services for Willingboro Township. This is awarding a contract to RJM Landscaping for ground maintenance services. Resolution number 79 is a resolution authorizing the Township of Willingboro to award a contract for the pre-seasonal prep and maintenance of 6 baseball fields. And this contract too will be awarded to RMJ as they were the lowest bidder on that bid. Resolution number 80 is a resolution authorizing a change order number 17 for a contract with Levy Construction Company for the Willingboro Performing Arts Center Phase 1 renovation. This particular change order is in relation to some minor adjustments that were completed in the latter phases of the Phase 1 construction, and it also includes the monies to lay the carpeting, which is the last aspect of Phase 1 that needed to be complete for the Performing Arts Center. Resolution number 81 is a resolution ratifying emergency procurement and awarding emergency contract to Landberg Construction LLC for the emergency outfall replacement between 45 and 51 Pageant Lane. That is the contractor that's going to be repairing the collapse in relation to the funding resolution that we spoke of earlier. And that is all the items that I have to present to you for this evening for your consideration.
All right, thank you, Mr. Harris. At this time, we'll have our first public comment. This public comment is for agenda items only. You will have 2 minutes. Please come up and state your name. There are public comment cards in the back that you should fill out and hand to our deputy clerk as in case we need to get back with you or contact you with follow-up. This public comment is for agenda items only. Public comment is now open. Seeing none, public comment is now closed. Madam Clerk, we'll proceed to ordinance 2026-8.
Yes, this evening we have an ordinance for introduction. May I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-08 entitled Ordinance of the Township of Willingboro, the County of Burlington, New Jersey, adopting an amendment to the 4284 Route 130 redevelopment plan dated February 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Discussion. So this ordinance tonight, there have been some amendments to the redevelopment plan concerning the townhome portion of the project. We do have our township planner, Mr. Michael Colbert, here tonight to brief us on the updates and give a presentation.
Thank you so much. My name is Michael Colbert. I'm the Director of Planning for Brownfield Redevelopment Solutions, and I am the planner for Willingboro Township. The redevelopment plan that we're looking at today is for the former Burlington County Times site. The goal for this redevelopment plan is to establish new residential on this site, primarily to meet, in part to meet Willingboro's fair share housing plan obligations. A site plan has already been submitted and approved by the Township Planning Board for the affordable housing component of the plan. The townhome development is being looked at now as a later phase, as a second phase of this project. And with that, there have been some amendments requested by the developer in order to facilitate this development. And that is what the township is going to be considering. As a reminder, for the process of a redevelopment plan, tonight we have the first reading of our ordinance. This then goes to the planning board, and the planning board is actually who conducts a public hearing on this matter. So for most of the discussion for this ordinance, we should be doing that at the planning board hearing, which is scheduled for April 13th. If there are no substantive changes recommended from planning board, this will come back to the city council for a second reading. If there are substantive changes that are needed in advance of after the planning board, then we will represent a first hearing of this in April, and then it'll come back after that for a second hearing. I have given these municipality 2 versions of this redevelopment plan. One is a clean version and one is a red line version, or in this case, the yellow highlight version. And we did that to make sure that everybody is aware of exactly what's changing in the plan, make it very clear what's new in the plan, what's been removed from the plan. Most of this we'll go over at the planning board hearing, but I can provide a few highlights for you today of the major changes. The biggest of which is that we have moved from a single townhome district in the standards to standards for individual townhomes. And the reason that we've done that is that the intent is that there's going to be a subdivision of these townhomes, and for the zoning of these townhomes, we need standards for the individual townhomes rather than the development of a unified district. So that the way the townhomes can be sold off appropriately, and then there's standards for those things. So instead of a For example, instead of a minimum lot size of 10 acres for the development of a townhome district, we have a minimum lot size of 1,200 square feet for an individual townhome lot within that district. All of the changes are highlighted in yellow. Some of the biggest ones is that we've included now definitions for all of the different types of uses that are permitted within the whole redevelopment area. We have moved several uses into principal uses for the area. And we did that because there are now going to be some individual smaller lots that are just going to have things like amenities, things like a clubhouse or a swimming pool, and that might be the only thing that's on the lot. So that'll be a principal use on that lot now, as opposed to an accessory to another use that's on that lot, which would be if you had, 50 townhomes on that lot. One of the big concerns of the municipality was that there are going to be 5% of the lots, which is about seven units, that are going to be affordable townhome ownership units. What we heard from the municipality was that it is very important that those affordable lots be indistinguishable from non-affordable lots within the development. From the developer side, that was challenging because of the accessibility standards that are required for affordable lots. They have to meet affordable housing developments need to meet ADA standards, which is challenging to do on a townhome with a garage. So the compromise that has been proposed in this redevelopment plan is that there's going to be two types of units that are going to be developed as part of this development. One is 3-story townhouses that have a garage, and that'll be the majority of the units. But there will also be 2-story townhomes developed, some affordable, some market rate, so those will be indistinguishable from each other. But there will be a mix of those, and those will be 2-story townhouses without a garage. And without a garage, they can meet the accessibility standards that are required. For me as a planner, that's a win for the community because you're creating more housing diversity within the community. You're providing a market rate option as well that didn't exist before. And as well as a market rate option that did exist before, that was going to happen with the garage. So you're providing more choices for people in the community to have a different option for what's appropriate for their family. And that type of housing diversity is usually something as a planner that I think is welcome. In looking at the original proposals for the redevelopment plan, my biggest concern was stormwater. The original proposal was included a 80% maximum coverage of individual lots, which is high. The way that this is being addressed in the redevelopment plan is a requirement that the overall development meets DEP standards for a major development under the stormwater laws, even after the subdivision. So usually a major development in the DEP laws is for new development of 3/4 of an acre or more, which the individual lots won't be. However, we're going to require for the overall development that you have to meet that standard regardless of the subdivision. And the new DEP stormwater standards are strict. They require calculations for how much water was going to come off in the lots. They require installation of green infrastructure, and there's a lot of maximums that have to go into that. They also require long-term maintenance of those stormwater infrastructure that goes into it. How that is taken care of specifically is going to should be an item of discussion for the planning board as they review the site plan, and especially for the township engineer as the site plan gets reviewed to make sure that's done, that there are appropriate mechanisms for deed restrictions or all those types of things. You can't do that in the redevelopment plan because of the level of specificity that's required over there, but it's something to be aware of. And that's the main things that are included in this redevelopment plan. I did have a recommendation for the redevelopment area which was not included here. I did suggest to the developer that they follow a naming convention for the development that follows the typical Willingboro pattern of, usually it's named after a natural feature. There's an alphabetical component to it for the development, so that the development, fits into the historic Willingboro as best as possible. Every opportunity I can, I'm going to look to be reinforcing that identity in Willingboro. That wasn't an item that fit cleanly into a redevelopment plan, into that type of a law, but it's something that the developer was amenable to. So it's something to keep in mind as you do your redevelopment agreement later on. I'm happy to answer questions if you have any.
All right, thank you, Mr. Colbert. Also, I did you do have a rendering in front of you of what the 2-story versus 3-story with garage townhomes will look like. So you can just wrap your head around the look in practice. Does council have any questions for Mr. Culver? Okay, so we'll move forward with, thank you, Mr. Culver. So we will move forward with roll call on this. Madam Deputy Clerk?
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
and Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. Moving on to our resolutions. Are there any resolutions that anyone would like to pull from a consent agenda? Madam Deputy Mayor?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to pull Resolution 2026-74 and 2026-79 for further discussion.
Thank you. Any others? All right. Having no others, I'd like to, thank you, Mr. Culver. Having no others, I'd like to ask for a motion for a consent agenda for resolutions 2026-71 through 73, 2026-75 through 78, and 2026-80 and 81. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman McIntosh, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
and Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. Madam Deputy Clerk, 2026-74. Oh, we do need to approve it. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the same.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
and Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. All right, now we'll move on to resolution 2026-74.
Okay, our first resolution up for discussion is Resolution 74. Resolution authorizing resolution authorizing transfer between 2025 budget appropriation reserves. Can I get a motion to discuss?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Discussion. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Harris, I know during the prep meeting, I asked if the vendors for the senior center, if all their payments would be resolved once we have these transfers done. I know you were going to take a look and see the contracts in comparison to what was paid out in Edmonds. And I was wondering if you could share what the findings were on that.
So based on the information that I have reviewed, this will settle all of the outstanding vendor issues from 2025.
Okay, and I just to be clear, so the contracts were reviewed and compared to what was paid out in Edmonds, and then based on that reconciliation, we're able to say that all of these vendors from the senior center would have received payment or will receive payment.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris. That's all I had, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
and Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Our next resolution that we have is Resolution 79, a resolution authorizing the Township of Willingboro to award a contract for the pre-seasonal prep and maintenance of 6 baseball fields. Can I get a motion to discuss?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Discussion.
I have one question.
Councilwoman McIntosh.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, I see the ranges of prices or bids for this baseball field, for the baseball fields. Do you foresee any problems with prevailing wages? Because I know we had that issue last time. We did go with the lowest bid last time, but we had to backtrack and go with it. I believe previously the Born Leaders, we ended up going with because they were actually honoring the prevailing wages. Because we did shoot, I think you did do someone that was less expensive last time, but we ran into problems with the prevailing wage, I believe, if I recollect correctly.
You are correct, Councilwoman McIntosh. When we did this bid the first time, the first vendor did not believe that they needed to pay prevailing wage. But that was the case, and that bid was, they were excluded. The second lowest bidder at that time had a problem with their bid and got excluded as well. And that's how we ended up with the current contractor as being the third in the series.
Okay, so how sure are we this time that, that won't happen again?
Because the bid is based on prevailing
Yeah.
wage.
And that wasn't the case the last time.
That was not the case the last time.
All right, thank you.
So, Mr. Harris,
Councilman Anderson.
with the current company that we have, I believe I read there was an extension, opportunity to extend. Did we offer that opportunity? Was that discussed?
We did not choose to extend that contract. After discussions with the Department of Public Works and Recreation, there was an expression of dissatisfaction with the performance of the vendor, and we decided to go out and issue a new bid.
Neil? Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Harris, thank you for the insight. You said Recreation and DPW had meetings and conversations with them about the performance of the contractor. I was wondering if the contractor was involved with those conversations, was feedback provided to them about the services that were being rendered?
So when I said that we had conversations, I mean the Recreation, DPW, and myself, and we determined to go out for the bid. I believe that there have been commentary along the way with the vendor, and Mr. Chapman, who is not here, would be able to dictate or enumerate what those conversations were, because they were mostly had, whom I believe, with Mr. Thompson and the vendors. So if you would like, I can reach out to him tomorrow and have him share some of those comments if there actually were any.
Okay, yes, I would be interested. During the prep meeting, you had mentioned there weren't conversations with the vendor. So I'm just concerned about us making sure that as we're getting services for the township, that we're providing feedback along the way, because some of the things that needed to be rectified perhaps could have been. So I'm very concerned that we're not providing the feedback back to the vendors on the work. And then we decide not to extend, again, with no conversation with the vendor, who is local to Willingboro, and this been in the community for a while and has done a lot of work in the community. So I'm just concerned about how we're treating our local vendors. When other vendors from other communities come to do work, they get feedback and second, third, and fourth chances. So I just want to make sure we have consistent practices for how we're treating our vendors in Willingboro. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Lastly, on this, Deputy Mayor, I did get some information that said that there was some feedback given with some displeasure. Those issues were remedied immediately, and they were provided with positive feedback going forward. So I'm not sure how this ended up back in the bid pile. I am disappointed that another company outside of Willingboro will be taking over the contract. As you know, I've made it clear to the administration and the community that my focus is economic development and supporting our local businesses. And I'm very disheartened with this move, but legally there's no other option that we can take at this point. Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to underscore the fact that the mayor and the council has provided the vision and guidance to the administration that we're focused on economic development in Willingboro. And so that was the guidance given. So the administration's decision to not use the extension is not consistent and in alignment with the vision and the guidance that the council has provided. Thank you.
All right, with that said, any other discussion? We'll move to roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
No.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Dr. Worthy,
No.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. All right, we do not have a treasurer's report at this time. Madam Deputy Clerk will go to the approval of minutes.
Yes. May I get a motion to approve February 3rd and February 17th regular meeting minutes and executive session meetings minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Any discussion? Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Deputy Clerk, just for the record, wanted you to take another look at the minutes. I support them, but there are a few typographical things that need to be adjusted, punctuation, things like that. So if you just take another quick read through them, the accuracy I think is fine. It's just, since they're for the record, we just want to clean it up a little bit.
Just noted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
All right, if there's nothing else, roll call.
Yes. Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
and Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. And next we'll move on to our municipal clerk updates.
Okay. Good evening. This is the update from the municipal clerk's office. First, a reminder that the petition filings are due by Monday, March 23rd at 4 p.m. While that is the official deadline, we strongly encourage all candidates to submit their petitions as early as possible to allow time to review and to avoid any last-minute issues. Next, regarding the upcoming primary elections, please take note of the following important dates. The primary election day is Tuesday, June 2nd. Voter registration deadline is May 12th, 2026. You must have it postmarked by this date. Early voting is May 26th to May 31st. Vote by mail application deadline is May 26th. And vote by mail application deadline in person is June 1st by 3 p.m. Please note, if you're submitting your voter registration by mail, postmark dates are not guaranteed. Residents are strongly encouraged to submit their registrations as early as possible to ensure that they're received and reprocessed on time. You are also able to apply online through the New Jersey Voter Info Portal. Additionally, new polling locations have been confirmed. A flyer with the polling information is available in the back. This information will be shared with the local schools, library, and JFK, and will be available at the Township Building. We are also working with communications team to post updates on social media this upcoming week, and mailers will be going out in the next couple weeks. In licensing, we have updates for our solicitors. We currently have 8 pending applications and 2 approved at this time. And as a reminder, no-knock forms are available both online and in person at the clerk's office. Once completed, you will receive a no-knock sticker to display at your residence, indicating that solicitors and peddlers should not knock on your door. And at this time, that's the end for my clerk's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any questions for our Deputy Clerk? All right, seeing none? You said what? Yes. So Willingboro community, it is our clerk Samantha Savino's last meeting before her maternity leave, and she just wanted to provide us with some updates before she goes out.
Hello, it's very weird standing on this side of the podium. So I just wanted to give you guys as in council, a brief statement, kind of summarizing my maternity leave, but you're all gonna get a very in-depth memo from me by Friday, basically kind of explaining more deadlines and stuff like that. So, as we approach, my leave of absence. I just want to give you a few updates. As you know, over the past couple of months, I've been working closely with my deputy, Nikisha Scott, to ensure a smooth and seamless transition while I'm away. At this point, I'm confident we have strong preparations in place to support continuity during my absence. I'll be going out on maternity leave beginning on or about April 1st. April 1st, as long as nothing happens before then, with an anticipated return date of October 1st. I have full confidence in Ms. Scott's ability to manage the day-to-day operations of the office. She has been fully trained on all key responsibilities and has been actively involved in preparing for this transition. We've also put several safeguards in place to support continued operations. This includes detailed transition notes and standard operating procedures, a comprehensive calendar of all critical deadlines, and clearly established points of contact at the state and county level. We've also ensured access to additional professional service or professional support by utilizing a consultant that has decades of clerk experience in Burlington County, particularly during more complex periods such as budget season. During my absence, the office will continue to move forward with key priorities, including the new polling location rollout for Election Day, Civic Plus implementation for agenda management, next request, and boards and commissions, and phase 2 of our digitization initiative. I'll be sending out a more detailed memo to you guys, like I said, including timelines for all these projects by the end of the week so you can refer back to as I'm out. Overall, I'm confident that the office is well prepared and will continue to run smoothly. I appreciate the mayor and council's support over the past few months while I've been working through this transition, and I look forward to seeing you in October. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any questions for our clerk? No? All right, you're good.
Madam Mayor?
Yeah.
Do we have any updates on the changes of the voting, location?
The polling place?
Polling place, yes.
Yes, right now they do have flyers in the bag. Flyers, as Ms. Scott said, flyers will be sent through the schools, will be available at JFK, the public library, and this building, as well as mailers will be sent out, and posts will be made on our social media platforms and on the website and app. No problem. Also, residents will also be notified on their sample ballot should they miss all of the other forms of communication that are sent out. All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I wish you restful, hopefully, but also a safe delivery, welcoming a new baby into the Willingboro family. We're claiming it already. All right. We'll go on to unfinished business. We have on the agenda the second annual Mayor's Golf Classic. This initiative was approved by the council last year in Resolution 2025-218. And Councilman Anderson has, in that resolution, was designated to remain on as liaison. So I will turn it over to him for updates.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As we approach the second annual Mayor's Golf Classic, members of the committee are here and they're ready to give a presentation. I do see Madam Chairwoman back there with the hat on trying to hide, but at this time, Ms. Karen Wells, if you can come up, possibly with any other reps that don't mind speaking with you to just give the council an update. Thank you. You can't hide that.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think, did you Mr. Tunstall, did you provide them with the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, we have it.
Oh, it's up there. Very nice. Okay. Just want to give you an update for what we have. The PowerPoint presentation has been provided. It's up on the screen. The second annual Mayor's Golf Classic on Friday, May 29th, 2026. Registration is at 8 a.m. Shotgun is at 9 a.m. at the prestigious Rancocas Golf Club, Clubridge Lane in Willingboro. Our host for this year is none other than Mr. Aaron Davis, former boxing commissioner who is seated in the back. Wave to the people, Aaron Davis. Of course, because he's a longtime Willingboro resident, he is doing this for us pro bono. Over the years, Aaron Davis has been instrumental in raising funds for our students in the Willingboro community, and he decided to give us this, again, pro bono option as another entity for us to, again, raise funds for Willingboro students. The next slide. Cost is $135 for individual golfers, $500 per foursome. Requesting at least one gift from whole sponsors and invited vendors. Anticipated number of golfers is between 75 and 100. Last year's actual count was 72, I believe, that were registered. Next slide. Where are we with current vendor status? We have one vendor that is not listed here, and that is our sign vendor. We will reach out to that vendor with additional signage at the cost for 50 plus signs. The DJ has been secured, photographer has been secured, and the caterer has been secured. Next slide. Where are we current status? In the process of seeking local sponsorship through township businesses. If there is anyone that the council would like us to reach out to, please advise and we will do so. We are expecting repeat business from last year's event. Additional effort and focus is on the local Willingboro businesses for support. We do not have any financial data to share with you at this time. However, we are anticipating similar, if not better, sponsorship than last year. Next slide. Ask for the township. Sponsoring the swag bags, items to include golf towels, ball sleeves, tees, and the usual items that go into swag bags for golf tournaments. The 2026 Golf Committee will be making the request to the professionals, major sponsors, and contributors that were sought after last year. We do request that the council would assist the committee by following up with some of those contributors. We will provide a list of those contributors if you please. Next slide. The committee is working feverishly to make contact with as many businesses in the Willingboro community as possible to host a successful event. Financial information will be provided within the next few weeks. So ends the presentation. Committee members that are here in the audience, again, our host, Aaron Davis, please stand, wave.
I do what I'm told.
Pat Lindsay Harvey. And of course, Dennis Tunstall, always present. Any questions for me?
Do we have any questions?
No questions, but just like last year, the same model. Golf season, the winter's over. The golfers start to look for invites and invitations from this point moving forward. So because there's no financials is because stuff has gone out. There have been calls, but once again, it's somewhat of a last minute for them to start signing up. But we were at the same point, and we ended up raising $10,000 and sponsoring 5 kids at $2,000 apiece. Okay, but we would look forward to, as we get closer, more current updates just to keep us surprised. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Ms. Wells, has the scholarship application process been released, or how is that advertised?
It has not been released yet. We will also give you an update when that is done.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
All right, seeing that.
Thank you for your time.
All right, any new business?
I have unfinished business though.
Councilwoman Peron.
Thank you. All right, so 2 follow-ups. This one is relating to the Hometowns Hero program. The last discussion was about 2 meetings ago. I know Mr. Harris, you said you did not receive the email, but I did send it again. Did you have an opportunity to look at that email? I know there's a lot going on, but did you take a look at it?
Yes, I did receive the email.
Okay, so do you have any objections, thoughts, questions regarding what you read?
No.
Okay. Because basically, council, if we're gonna move forward, it's to vote on it to move forward with as far as, and I think what we needed to do is put together a resolution for, part of our discussion was how, if we're gonna take the flags down, if so, how long, et cetera. I did, provide like a preliminary idea of how to select the individuals that would be presented, which is through like a lottery type of a thing, a community type of a program. But we needed the clerk's office to produce some sort of resolution. I know I emailed the clerk's office. I'm not sure if anything was drafted. Do you have, or,
Yes, I believe something was drafted, and we can include that in the next meeting's packet.
okay. All right, so there's that. The other follow-up is the Parade and Events Committee regarding the SOPs. I know at our last meeting, we're going to speak with Jason. I'm not sure if you got to speak with him between now and then regarding that. And if so, do we have like a draft or where are we with this SOP?
No, we haven't had a chance to discuss more in depth on that. This redevelopment project has really taken up a lot of time since the last meeting, but I I will have that prepared for the next meeting.
Okay. What I can do is I did not host a meeting yet with the individuals, but we can identify committee members because that needs to happen. But as far as like their plans and so forth, I really would like to wait until we get the SOP. I don't want to direct them on how we can move with events and then we're not all on the same page.
Well, I think it would be beneficial to meet and at least outline and a projected budget since we are going into budget season. That would be helpful as we move into budget season to have the outline
What they want to do at least.
of what they want to do for the year and the requested budget.
All right, so I will prepare a meeting and we'll put together the calendar of events that they would like to put on, and then we'll circle back with the SOP. Another follow-up is with pertaining to, I have brought this up in the past, to see if we as a council can provide free pool passes for the residents of Willingboro. Basically outlining an idea of how to, I think some of the questions were, how do we get the pool passes to certain individuals? How do we recognize if they actually live here? Some suggestions that I had come up with was through their taxes, we know who the homeowner is at least, and possibly asking a survey question, a family of 4, a family of 2, or something. So I wanted to see if that's something we can look further into now before the summer season hits, even because it's a season away now at this point. But what are your thoughts about the free pool passes? And I know they said before when they had free pool passes, there was grants and so forth. We don't have a grant. So this is just, giving something back to the community in this kind of small way. So what are your thoughts on that?
I So circumstances have changed drastically around our pool situation since free pool passes were given out throughout the community. I know when I was young, students received free pool passes, but that is when all of the pools were open. Currently, we have 1, maybe 2 pools that are open and operational, and looking to do significant renovations to improve those pool standards. I would be afraid that with our aquatics programming and free pool passes, that it will overload the pools that we have existing. But I'll ask if any other council members has anything. And then Mr. Harris, also, can we have our recreation director come up and provide any insights? Maybe council first and then Mr. Larry.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So as it has been stated in the past, we used to get these pool passes through different grants to help subsidize it. I know for the last 5 years, we've been able to keep a flat budget, not knowing what the projections look like this year, not knowing if there's going to be an increase or not. I think we need to take a look at that to see what impacts this year is going to look like before, we jump in on a critical decision. So let's just do our due diligence at this point, but it is on the radar, and I do appreciate you bringing it up early. Thank you.
Any other council? Deputy Mayor Worthy.
I'd be interested in exploring it too, to see what can be done. I know we have a capacity issue with the pool. If that's not possible, I'd be curious to see what recreation may be able to offer as another give back to the community during the summer. Is there something we can do in the basketball court, or can we have like a game? I mean, is there something else that we can do to kind of, bring the youth together or the whole community together in a free way? Like maybe there's something else that we can do if we can't do the free pool passes, but I do think it would be great if there's something we can offer the community this summer.
Councilwoman McIntosh?
Agreed. And also, I think we are still looking to expand our aquatics. So we do need to make that investment. And I think that investment is critical at this point, and then possibly explore the free thing. I'm not against it. I grew up on that. That is, that was a highlight of my growing up here. But I do think that we do need to focus an investment into expanding expanding our aquatics, at least somewhat to the capacity that we had, before. So I actually agree with you, but I'm more focused on let's establish our aquatic program again. Because right now, we're kind of running kind of lean with a pool and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Lowry?
Good evening, everyone. I think you guys have been pretty spot on with your assessment of how it would affect our pool operations. We are just operating one pool. In terms of how it would affect recreation, personally, well, before I say that, personally, I did grow up in a community where we did have free pools, so I guess I'm a little biased in that, where I would personally support that. Outside of considering the finances from it, I think that's just a conversation that, you all in the administration leadership would have to have in terms of where you want to go with that. I think when I did the numbers, I think that's about $130,000 in terms of salary for our seasonal pool staff for the summer. And again, we're just down to one pool. So with aging infrastructure, I think we should probably focus on improving our pool capacity first, whether that bringing more pools online, opening back Pennypacker, making a new pool, whatever that looks like. There's a bunch of possibilities, but that would be my assessment. I wasn't really prepared for this conversation, but is there any other questions?
Oh, are there any other free programs or give backs for the community scheduled for like the summer?
We were looking to do some free stuff, but we did have to go through the budget, make the budget a little more leaner this year with a collaboration with Ms. Diggs and Mr. Harris. Things that I wanted to do, those funds got cut from our budget. That was going to be presented to you all, so maybe next year.
Were they in the event line?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. What event line are you referring to?
Yeah, we did. We had the Borough Barbecue.
Well, those will still be here. We'll have the Borough Barbecue. Juneteenth will still be here. There will still be the Jazz Fest. All those mainstay community engagement events will still be happening. Aquapalooza. Like we said earlier, Mr. Harris did Lunch with Bunny is going to be on Sunday. There'll be a good bunny there. But yeah, those, of course, will be there. We were looking at expanding beyond those this summer to have more free activities for the kids, for the youth, intergenerational things, but we're going to work with what we got. But there's still opportunity. We do have the National Opioid Settlement Funds, so we can take advantage of those funds and creating opportunities for more prevention-style activities or events or initiatives. So yeah, we can leverage those funds to do something else. I'm not sure that they would be supported by the pools, but we can be creative.
I'd also be interested in some of those intergenerational programs that you had. If you can just submit them, because as we're going into budget discussions, it's helpful to know some of those.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. So thank you for the feedback. Just another suggestion with that same topic, possible, and I think, Mayor, you mentioned it, the amount of people that it would be if it were free. So maybe another suggestion is free pool at a certain time. So like a gap hour or certain hours for residents, of course, identification. But just another suggestion with that, maybe making it a certain block or a certain day where if you're a resident, you know, this way, kind of like happy medium. That's just a suggestion for that one.
Yeah, I think it's a good suggestion. I just worry at some of those times when it's open, but there's no tracking mechanism for the capacity at the pool, like to be able to check and see how many spaces are available. I would hate for residents to get their kids all excited to go to a free pool day, and then they get there and the pool is at capacity and they can't go in. That would just break my heart, seeing kids standing outside of the gate, ready in their bathing suits, ready to swim, and not be able to.
Like I'm like Gary, they had free pools in New York too, and there were lines, so you had to wait until it was open up. But we can have a couple other things. So that was it. Just another suggestion about that, maybe a gap time or a certain day. But so that's one. The other follow-up I wanted to bring up is the green grass. So I know we had it on agenda for a little while, and I remember there was one last discussion about it over the winter time, and just wanted to see if there was any update with regards to getting the grass green.
There was a,
Oh, the edge and the edging, right?
right, there was a rehabilitation project that was presented to you and was laid out by the Department of Public Works, but it was a multi-year project. It's not something that's just going to happen from one year to the next. That grass is suffering from years of contamination and poisoning, and it's going to take some time to bring it back to life.
Right, I did see that. That's what I'm asking. Like, what are we doing like this month and then next? Like, what's the? Not that it's going to take a long time. Like, what's actually happening now to get?
I will touch base with DPW and redistribute that plan.
Well, not just the plan. Like, what's the calendar date? Like, on this date, this is what we're putting down: fertilizer, or and it's going to cost whatever this
I'll
month.
get in touch with DPW and redistribute the plan. I don't have that information.
Okay, because do you mean the same plan that you emailed everybody already? That one? I just don't want you to email that again. What I'm asking is like a calendar of events of how we're going to get to from now to then.
I understand what you're asking
Okay.
for. I don't have that
Okay,
plan.
okay.
That was DPW's plan, so I will communicate with them and then distribute.
Concrete dates after you speak with them? Not just redistribute it. I'm asking for like real solid information. After you speak with DPW, like,
Miss,
right.
I don't have that plan. I will.
No,
get
I
that
know.
with
I was,
DPW.
right. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, when you get to speak with them, we want to know, like, okay, this is what's going to happen. I don't know anything about grass. I can't even give an example, but so we can get to that point.
and Councilwoman Horn, also, Mr. Harris, with that, could you have Mr. Chapman here at the next meeting just to discuss what his plan is as it's redistributed, and have those dates as well as any plans for increased edging this season? Thank you.
Thank you. I have another. So this is another follow-up unfinished business. It was discussed sometime around the holidays, wintertime. A resident had contacted me regarding the basketball hoop that's on the driveway, and which is where it's kind of designed to be, but our ordinance hinders that from happening. So I know I had brought it to the council's attention, and the ordinance number is 2024-23. And the portion of that ordinance, it does speak to not having barbecue grills on your driveway and trampolines, but where the portable basketball court comes into play, it falls underneath sports apparatus. So I wanted to see if the council would be okay with amending that ordinance to allowing the basketball hoop on that person's property, like not on the sidewalk, not on anybody else's property, of course, but on the where their garage door is, like on the driveway. What are your thoughts on that? Follow up, 'cause I know we spoke about it before, and then looking at the ordinance and what it says. I did read the ordinance. That's the one part that it affects, and unfortunately, every people put it. That's where they put it, on the driveway. So, what are your thoughts about amending it to removing that part? Would you be open to that? Yes or no? And your thought?
Council? Deputy Mayor Worthy?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman. Actually, the mayor and I workshopped this idea at the high school and met with some groups of students to talk about that ordinance particularly. They had some concerns as well. And where we landed, we all were concerned about safety. That was the issue, is that there's no mechanism or specifications required for residents to make sure that those hoops are secured so that, like, when there are windstorms or different things happen, they don't topple over. So it wasn't so much that we just didn't want the apparatus. The issue was there's no specification for how to make sure that they're going to stay safe. And there have been instances of those basketball apparatus falling over, or they're not properly weighted, or they think they're properly weighted, but they're not, and they end up harming people and property. And so that was the concern. We talked about it with the students as well. And Mr. Tunstall is here tonight and can also share insight. But my concern is just the safety and not being able to secure those apparatus properly. And if we change the ordinance, what do we put in place of there to make sure that there's a certain specification for those things to be safe?
And thank you, Deputy Mayor. Also, in workshopping with the students at the high school and the middle school, one of the things we had talked about is maybe mounting it to the garage, like if it was mounted in the driveway. I know many people roll them down to the end of the street and play basketball in the street. So I don't think that solution would really solve or address the concern that some residents have about those rolling basketball courts. They also threw out some suggestions about having them have to be mounted down or have to be secured. But we can't just have people constructing basketball hoops like in front of their homes to ensure that it's secured. Also, that portion of the ordinance refers to all sports apparatus.
Right.
So it also involves soccer
Basketball.
goals, hockey goals, all different types of things, probably like bicycle ramps and things.
Right. No, that's why I said it
But-
falls underneath sports apparatus, because it's
Yeah.
all sports equipment. But I mean, the basketball hoops, they're designed to put heavy weight on it. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't have one. But I mean, that's how it's supposed to.
I brought this up at another council meeting where I was actually in the street, because I'm in my mind, I'm like, it's harmless, but I was there and the thing fell flat and it's heavy. It started, I mean, it's
Okay.
a heavy apparatus. So, I mean, I saw with my own eyes, the potential safety hazard that it can be, because and the wind wasn't that
Strong.
but the way it fell, that would have really hurt someone.
Or damage someone's
Or
property,
property,
because
right.
if it falls on someone's car or something like that.
Okay. All right. So the last thing I have, I know everyone had seen my emails today to Mr. Harris. This is to you, Mr. Harris, regarding the BYOB at JFK for party or event rentals. I did receive a phone call from a resident that was planning to have there was a funeral in her family. She was trying to have a repast on Friday at the JFK Center, and she was denied to having served alcohol to her family and friends. She did bring up the fact that she's been to multiple events at the JFK Center where she observed, she actually does not drink alcohol, but she observed people being served alcohol and was wondering if she was being discriminated against, or is it because she doesn't work for the township, or because she's not a council member. She felt that it was a personal matter. And in the email that I sent to you, I was very adamant about being careful of how we come up with who can and who can't. Mr. Harris, you stated that you have a list of, you said you spoke to Councilman Anderson, and you stated that there is a list that you have where certain events can have BYOB while others cannot. I did ask for the list. I did not get the list yet. You did say you did not tell him you gave him a list or had a list, but you did identify a list. You identified a few events that we've had in Willingboro, such as, I think you mentioned open mic, Ave Blanc. There was another one you mentioned. Okay, yeah, comedy night. And I don't know who came up with those items list where we ever voted that they can bring BYOB and others cannot. I just know that there is requirements where holding an event, you're supposed to have a paraded, what is it called? Social, no, it's another one. Event planning.
Insurance?
Yes, event planning insurance. That person who rents the JFK or the banquet hall must obtain that information. And I did send you additional information. I know we're kind of going back and forth. I think my last email, I shared some information that I found. I think Jason was on that email as well, where it says if you're going to serve alcohol, then that's the additional piece to your insurance that the person, not us, that the person must obtain, and then they can serve alcohol, but they're not allowed to sell alcohol. And that insurance is designed, and this is for the state of New Jersey, because that's what I looked it up, is designed in case somebody is too intoxicated or behaving poorly under the influence of alcohol, that family, that person who rents it is responsible for those individuals. So with that said, I would like for us to clear up today where it's equally allowed for someone who rents a space at the JFK Center has the same equal rights of any event that the township or the council agrees to put on, and that they're not treated differently. I just want us to kind of, I know we were all in an email, we couldn't speak all together, but I was blind copying the council. So just wanted to bring that to discussion. That's the last thing I have as a matter.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman Perone. And I did just want to clarify just one thing. There are events that have alcohol at the banquet hall at JFK Center. Those are BYOB events where individual event goers bring their own alcohol. Alcohol is not being served to the
Right.
general public.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I meant. They bring it, it's BYOB, they bring their own alcohol. They're not being served. That's what I was saying, that that's what it should be allowed. But the individual was told they cannot bring their own alcohol and share servitude.
Right. Those ones are ticketed events, right?
No,
No, the ones that
Oh,
currently
the
happen
ones that currently, yeah.
are ticketed events,
Mhm.
and the individual attendees bring their own alcohol.
Right.
That is how that is. It's not
Like a cabaret. I know.
yeah, so it's not like a host event serving alcoholic beverages to the party goers.
Okay. Well, did you see, I'm not sure if you saw the email that I sent.
Yeah,
you,
I did see it.
where it shows that you don't have to, you not have to sell tickets, you don't have to sell anything, but you do have to obtain a special additional, it doesn't come with the regular event license.
I just wanted to note the precedent that has
Oh, I
been
see what you're
set.
saying, you just further additional information.
Right,
provided.
additional
Okay.
information,
Mhm.
yes. Mr. Harris, did you, can you respond?
So what Councilwoman Perone is referencing is actually a rider on an insurance policy that the homeowner could purchase to cover them and protect them against liability if they were to serve alcohol at an event and there was something that would happen. It's not really providing them, giving them permission to hold an event. It's providing them additional coverage if something happens. um, the 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 list, and if there was some misunderstanding out there being a list, there is no list. The township has historically allowed alcoholic beverage consumption at township sponsored events like the comedy night, like the open mic night, like the more recent Barrel on Blanc, which is the only event that didn't occur before my arrival here in Willingboro. Um, so if and it is not my intention, and I don't believe I personally have discriminated against anyone, but I think it is important that the township have policies in place that protects them from situations where unfettered alcohol consumption on township properties could subject you to certain liabilities. So it would probably be a more prudent discussion to sit down and maybe develop an ordinance or a plan where certain events are licensed. Maybe it's the individual rentals of the banquet hall. I don't know. But just saying, well, anybody can come into the JFK Center and serve alcohol, and there's a difference between somebody bringing their own and you giving it to them. I don't think that would be in the township's best interest, but I'm willing to work with the governing body to find that happy medium that serves the Willingboro public.
Okay, so currently we don't have a policy on alcohol within the JFK Center. There's no ordinance.
No, so when the code was written, and my understanding was that the municipal buildings were specifically stated that could not have alcohol, being the municipal complex, any school, the WMUA. However, the JFK Center was, again, this is what was communicated to me because I was not here, was intentionally left off. So there was the ability to serve alcohol at the JFK Center. Like I said, you were doing it for, or they were doing it for the open mics and different events. And I don't think it's the intention of the council to banish alcoholic beverages at the JFK Center, but I do think there needs to be a mode of control where just not anybody can walk in and start serving alcohol.
Mr. Harris, nobody said anybody can just walk in and serve alcohol. So I just want us to be very clear. I sent you the laws, okay? The person is responsible, anybody, even whether if they're gonna serve alcohol or not, they have to get liability insurance. We all agree on that, right? Liability insurance to rent the banquet and have whatever event that they're going to have. In addition to, if they're going to have alcohol, serve alcohol, drink alcohol at that party, they must obtain an additional insurance. And that is what I sent you. Okay? So I don't know what the whole thing about we need a policy to say if the township is selling tickets. No, we have to go what the law says. So here's the issue. If you're going to have a party, a comedy show, and sell tickets, and bring alcohol, serve alcohol, look at alcohol, and then somebody has a repast and they have alcohol, looking at alcohol, they can't, but you can. That's where the discrimination piece comes in, because it's discrimination because the law says insurance. Law says this is what the insurance is for. And I sent it to everybody so you can look at it. We can't create ordinances for our, if we're going to create an ordinance, then there's no alcohol for anybody. Comedy show, regardless. But it can't be because the township is putting on an event and somebody else doesn't work here and they want to put an event for their family or have a wedding or birthday party, and now we say that they can't. Insurance is designed for anybody who, one, can financially support it, have it, and those are the rules that we're supposed to have. And actually, I've rented the space there before, so I know it says it there that they have to obtain additional insurance for alcohol if they're going to have alcohol, not if they're going to sell tickets for the event. Not, because I still don't understand, like, okay, if somebody's going to bring alcohol, or how else can it get there if you didn't bring it there? There's no alcohol store in the building. So it's not like they're going to get there and they go to a refrigerator and we have it there. They have to bring the alcohol in the building. So that's anybody. Ave Blanc, comedy show, does not matter. But we can't, I'm just very concerned about people feeling like we're so special as council members, we can have parties with alcohol, but they can't. So unless you can pull up a law that says differently, I don't think we should create a resolution that says we can serve alcohol if we're selling tickets at the municipal, but a regular resident can't have a wedding there and toast with her new husband because why? She doesn't work for the township? She's not on council? That's what I'm saying. And I didn't make this up. I shared to you, and I'm looking through my phone. It's so tiny. I didn't bring my laptop, but everybody saw what I sent to you. It's not my own rule. State says it. It's
Councilman Anderson?
So just for clarification, I was part of a conversation with Mr. Harris. When this matter was brought to me, I did inquire as to an individual being denied the opportunity to have alcohol at a repass, which was slated to be BYOB. It was stated by Mr. Harris to me that there's a list. When I asked you about the list, I said, where do I get this list from? Who has it? At that point, you said, council could do whatever they want. All right, so I just wanted to put that on record because that was the conversation, and based on the email chain, you kind of stated that wasn't. So I just wanted to put that on record. Number two, we need to look at being consistent, okay? Because I witnessed events, I put on events where it was BYOB, and the $1 million insurance that was required was there. So in this case, it just needs to be consistency. So because this repass, I believe, is Friday, Ms.
It's
Perron,
Friday, yeah.
I
mhm.
think we need to take into consideration if they meet the criteria of the insurance, whatever they need,
Right.
they do have the opportunity. But it's all about being consistent. And if there's no policy in place, you can make it up as you go. We need to be consistent. I mean, that's in everything. And it's not, I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying as a township, because that's where a lot of miscommunication comes in, a lot of stereotyping comes in. We just need to be consistent.
And-
So
And Councilman Anderson, I agree with you. I agree with some of what Councilwoman Perron has said. I too think that we need to be consistent in this, and how we create consistency is through ordinances. So it will be for us to develop an ordinance that regulates what insurance needs to be had, how much the policy has to have, if we want to put restrictions on just the banquet hall. It can only happen in the, alcohol is only allowed in the banquet hall. It's not like the neighborhood watch could have alcohol at their meeting, or things like that.
For Sunday.
Yeah.
Holy Sunday, for
know.
Communion Sunday, no Communion Sundays.
Right. So there are a lot of things that go into consideration
Mhm. Okay.
when
Maybe.
we're doing that. But I think in order to create that consistency, we would need to create an ordinance
right.
to regulate that.
That's true.
What was that? Good Friday? I'm in favor for
but
Friday.
the repass.
For the
Yeah, for the
Could we
repass, if
support
you're, yes.
having
the
them
repass,
up with
this-
what's in place now as far as the insurance
Okay,
for the
yeah.
repass? Is that something council?
I'm open to that, to allowing them.
I can support that for Friday.
I support for Friday also.
I support as well.
Councilwoman McIntosh, yes? Okay. So we are in support of the event on Friday. And then moving forward, we will create an ordinance that provides guide rails for having alcohol in the JFK Center, so that we are being consistent. We don't want, as a municipality, to discriminate against anyone, or for anyone to feel that they're being
Right.
discriminated against. I know these are slightly different situations, but just to create that consistency, we have to regulate it through ordinance. Sure.
Absolutely. All right, thank you. That's all I have for this evening.
Make sure we follow up with making sure we're making sure our liability is,
It's on there, on the ordinance.
yeah, but make it, even for the Friday, making
for the
sure
Friday.
that whatever insurance needs to be purchased is purchased, to
That's-
mitigate our liability
Right,
in general.
right.
But
Okay.
I do support.
Okay. All right, so would someone like to make a motion to approve the repass for this Friday, March 20th?
20.
March 20th, to be allowed to have a BYOB event.
I make a motion that we allow the family to have the repass on Friday with the BYOB, so long as they have the proper insurance in place by Friday.
Second.
All right. It's been moved by Councilwoman Perron, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yeah.
Deputy Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. And then also, Mr. Hall, if you can move forward with preparing an ordinance that would outline. Thank you. He was like, "You gotta say it all again." All right, thank you, Jason. All right. we will now move on to and new business. Nobody has new business, right? Okay. So we'll move on to public comment. This is our general public comment. This comment is for 4 minutes. You can talk about any general topic. There are comment cards in the back. Please fill it out should we need to contact you after the meeting. Public comment is now open.
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council, Administration, Professional Services, and my Williamboro resident, fellow Williamboro residents. I just wanted to let council
state your
know.
name,
Oh, I'm
please?
sorry. I forgot about that part. Pat Lindsay Harvey, Bedford Lane. Just wanted to let council know that the library board has a new library director. She is here tonight. And I'm very happy to let you know that Paulette Williams is our new library director. Woman extraordinaire. And just a little bit of history. This is the first Williamboro resident to hold this position in more than 25 years. I've been on the board that long, I can remember this. EcoVision Task Force, we are looking into an initiative that collects plastic. And when we accumulate 1,000 pounds worth of plastic, the township will receive a free bench that's made of recycled plastics. So that's something that we're looking to do. The WCDC has received a grant regarding news deserts, which Williamboro is, they have determined that Williamboro is in the news desert. And the grant is charging us to survey Williamboro residents to see how they currently get their news and would like to get their news. Let's see, what else? And we were talking about the basketball hoops. One of the things when my kids were growing up, that was one of the things that was in the driveways. And one of the things that really worried the residents on the street was that sometimes the balls would go in the street. And we worried that the kids were going to get hit by cars because cars in the street, the kids are not looking at the cars. All they see is their ball and run into the street. So that's a concern of mine. And I remember years ago, and I don't know if this still applies, but when you wanted to do an event with alcohol, you had to apply for a one-day liquor license from the state. So I don't know if that's something that still is required, but I know it used to be. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lindsay Harvey. Any other public comment? Good evening.
Claudine Archer, 46 East Stokes Road. I'm coming on behalf of the Beloved Project. I don't know if everybody has seen it, but the Beloved Project has partnered with the high school, and the cosmetology class will be coming to do their hours, and because they need hours to be able to take their tests. So they're supporting us, we're supporting them. With that, we're allowed to give the seniors free hair, so
Salon services.
I'm all over the place, guys. Forgive me, I'm exhausted. Salon services, we're already booked up until the middle of April, the end of April. So we just want to keep it hopefully soon, providing things move a little quicker with the food bank, and those things will also be partnering with them for the culinary classes. So just wanted to keep you guys updated on that, please.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Archer. Any other public comment?
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Cecilia Livorn, 26 Granite Lane. I want to ask a few things. Councilwoman Perone, thank you for stating that. But the question that I have, if it wasn't a meeting here tonight in such an incident like that, where would us residents and who will we be contacting for it to be addressed immediately? Because see, now there's a meeting today is being addressed, so Safe Answers is being denied. Where are the residents bringing in issues for, like, if they're appealing it?
We answer after public comment.
So after everybody speaks, then we'll answer.
Then we answer.
However,
Okay. the next thing, sorry, guys, but the next thing I want to say is, as far as when it snowed, what was going on with the salt and what happened?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys. Nice seeing you.
Anything else?
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Council. I just want to question the
state your name,
website, Carolyn Providence, sorry, thank you. The website, I've been looking at the various meetings that we're having, and I noticed that the website, when a meeting is canceled, no one notifies. It's not there to say that the meeting has been canceled. So you show up at the venue and you wait around and no one shows up. And it happened at the neighborhood watch meeting. After waiting for about 30 minutes, the officer did come, and then she got a text saying that the meeting was canceled. Is there a way that we can be notified as residents, even on the website or some way, to say that this meeting will not happen that night, so that we don't have to travel, go out of our way to get there, wait around, and then no one shows up? The second thing related to alcohol, I'm not quite sure, but I thought I saw that you can't also have alcohol in the parks. So is that something that, as we create the ordinance, that's something that we could look into? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Cy Newman, 55 East Stokes Road.
What was your name one more time?
Cy, C-Y-E, pronounced.
Thank you, Mr. Newman.
I have a question about robocall. Is that still in effect, robocall?
Yes.
I'm not getting it. I'll have to check into that. Another thing, I paid attention to my water bill this month. I usually just pay it without reading the envelopes. But there's a statement in there about liens for not paying your water bill being sent over to the township, and you in turn putting liens on properties. Does that stop there, or do you also do a tax sale? Because I didn't quite understand the wording. Because somebody can lose their home for a $200 water bill. Sounds a little bit hard to me. So if I can get a clarification on that. And how does the reporting relationship work here? I've been here a lot of years, but I haven't been working, and now I'm free to look into things. Who reports to who? Is the mayor the top, or is township manager? What are the roles? Who has what responsibilities? That's somewhere on the internet somewhere I can go look. There's a whole series of councils, and you just represent the whole of the councils? Yeah, and do you report to the mayor?
No, I'm not answering.
We'll answer after all of the public comment. But we will answer your question.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I don't quite understand, so I'll be back and talk to you next time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Newman. Any other public comment? All right. Seeing none, public comment is now closed. Starting back at the top, Ms. Lindsay Harvey, first I want to give congratulations to Mr. Williams for your appointment as the library director. You've been doing a great job as interim, and we're glad to see a Willingboro resident be named in the position and continue to serve Willingboro with pride. So thank you for your service and dedication, and we look forward to all of the wonderful things that you'll be bringing to the Willingboro Public Library system. The new grant, Miss Lindsay Harvey, if you could provide any of that link information to communications. It will probably also help us township if that data that you collect with how residents are receiving their news and how they receive information, that would probably also help us if the CDC is willing to share the results of that survey. Ms. Archer, thank you for your work in the community and spearheading the partnership between the high school and the Beloved Project. As you know, this council has a priority of breaking down some of the barriers and walls in between the institutions in Willingboro, the WMUA, the council, and the school board. And I think this is one way that we can show as one Willingboro. So thank you for your work. I'm sure the rest of those appointments are going to go real fast. Cecilia, where do you bring complaints? Should something happen, you can always notify the clerk's office. Mr. Harris is the administration. He's the top of the administration, so he's a chief administrative officer. And yeah, that's usually how those. Also, you can email or call any of us. Our phone numbers and emails are on the website, so you can always contact council members in that way. What happened to the salt? That's another great question. We had at our past few meetings, we discussed the nationwide salt shortage, and especially here in New Jersey with our atypical winter this year, at least for the past 10 years at least. We did not receive any of the salt that was ordered. So we had a total of 275 tons of salt on order that did not arrive until well after both storms. We used connections. We contacted the county to try to get salt, the senator's office, the governor. We were really working hard. I had direct conversations with the governor's team trying to make sure that we got our salt. And there was just such a shortage that the ships weren't coming in to deliver the salt into the ports. So there was no way for municipalities, counties to get the salt from the ports. That wasn't being delivered. So now we have a nice stockpile. I'm sure we will shore that up a little further before next winter season, but we should be well stocked for our next winter season. Ms. Providence, I'm sorry that happened to you with the neighborhood watch meeting. So typically for township sponsored events, like any of our recreation events or public meetings, like our township council meeting, our planning board, zoning board meeting, things like that, those are advertised on there. Neighborhood Watch is a citizen run organization, so it doesn't have the same like reporting requirements. And also sometimes, if the president can't make it, or if an emergency comes up, they may cancel it without even us knowing. So I'm really sorry that happened to you. I don't know if anyone has any suggestions or thoughts on how we can remedy that with some of these citizen run organizations.
If I may, if the organizations, when they cancel their meetings, will communicate with communications, that will give them the opportunity to put that information out on the website.
Okay, great. Did you have something else, Chief Bucks?
I was gonna say, we can put on our, once we find out, we can put on our Facebook.
Okay.
Contact communications.
Okay, great. All right, yeah. So, Mr. Harris, if we can, to some of those organizations that we publicize their events, if we can include it in, I don't know, whatever agreements or things that we have signed with them, that they must notify us should there be any cancellations, so that we can make sure that we're sending that out if there's a change. And also, that was a great idea to add the parks into the ordinance, so we will be sure to explore that and outline that piece as well. All right, Mr. Newman, your water bill. So yes, the WMUA had transitioned from doing water shutoffs for unpaid bills to doing liens on properties instead of shutting people's water off. It does give them, some extended time to pay it with that lien. But we do have our chairwoman of the WMUA here tonight. Do you have anything else to add on that, Miss Lindsay Harvey? You have to come up to the mic.
So we didn't transition to tax liens. It's something the MUA has always done. It's just that we don't do shut-offs anymore. And then when there's a tax sale or tax lien, it's for the year prior. So this is 26, so it would be for 2025. And the person would have 2 years, if the tax lien sells, they have 2 years to clear that up. So it's a lot harder for them to even foreclose on it. Yeah. No. No, it's a lot hard. It's a lot harder to do that. But that's the process now.
Thank you, Miss Lindsay
Okay.
Harvey. All right. Mr. Newman, we'll have to have the conversation after the meeting, but she'll be here. All right. Also, there's a WMUA meeting tomorrow. If you have any other, good. They'll be glad to see you over there. All right. It is online. All right, and then also, you have some questions about our governing structure. We are governed under the Faulkner Act in a council manager form of government. So we have 5 council members that are elected by the people. The mayor is selected from or by the council to represent the body, the mayor and deputy mayor, and then our township manager is our CEO, essentially the head of the administration, and all of the employees report to the township manager, and they carry out the day-to-day operations and make reports to, and also the 2 employees that report to the governing body are the township manager and the township clerk. So if you want to look up more information on that, the Faulkner Act, that'll get you all caught up to speed and understanding how we are governed here in Willow. And it's also on our website. All right. Was there anything that
You mentioned the robocalls.
Oh, the robocalls. So Mr. Harris, I know we used to do a lot of robocalls previously. We got some feedback, and I know we've scaled back to doing emergencies. But Mr. Harris, can you just give an update on robocalls?
So it's not so much that we scale back, they changed the rules and the regulations for robocalls, and they're restricted to emergencies. And they're actually vetted by the companies pertaining to police and fire emergencies. They just won't allow us to put out robocalls for non-emergent situations.
Okay, thank you. So there's that answer. What happened to the robocalls? The laws changed, which they sometimes do. All right. Anything else from council? Anything I missed? All right. Seeing none, we will go to council comment. Any council have comment?
I just want to start by thanking everyone for coming out, those who are online watching as well. To our wonderful, wonderful clerk, Ms. Savino, you will be missed. Since you've been here, you've done a wonderful job, progressive, keeping the team together, from training, from just bringing everyone along, sharing your love. I have no doubt that Nikki is going to step up. Based on what I've seen from your deputy, you got a good choice there, but you will be missed. And we can't wait to see you in Cheyenne after October. And congratulations to Ms. Williams for your appointment over at the library. Just want to say thank you, and thank you, Willingboro.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Anyone else? No? Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just ask that we all just continue to keep our community members in prayer and thought of. We are a military community, even though you don't see folks in uniform as often. What's happened overseas has touched many lives of us right here in this community. All branches of service, all components. And I think it's just really important that we just think about what's happening globally and how it impacts many of us personally. And so just consider that. We also have government employees in Willingboro. We have a lot of government employees in Willingboro who are also impacted by the administration. We have retirees that haven't been compensated since October 1st. We have people who are trying to figure out how they're just gonna make it. So I'm just asking that we just, of all the things, we have all the things going on, all of us do. Just know that even though it may not be touching you personally, there are people around you to your right and left that it is touching them in a very, very impactful way. And so I just ask that we just extend grace to one another and keep each of us, lifted up in prayer and in thoughts as we are navigating these very challenging times. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. All right. First, I wanted to send my condolences to the Alimo family and Alimo Engineering. It is just a great loss to have lost their leader, Dick Alimo. Alimo Group has been in Willingboro for, 40 years, over 40 years. They've made donations to the community and supported Willingboro in many ways. Thank you to Dick Alimo for all of his service to Willingboro, and he will be surely missed. Also, I want to just underscore the request. If you know any EMTs, if you are friends with any EMTs, we are looking for EMTs. So make sure, if they're looking for a position, we have a few open here in Willingboro that we are looking to fill. Also, the Citizens Fire Academy open today. Applications, right? Open today. So Citizens Fire Academy is a terrific program. Residents can get hands-on experience and really touch all different components of our fire operations here in Willingboro. They get to tour the firehouse, do exercises with all of our servicemen over there. So it is really a great program to familiarize yourself with emergency operations here in Willingboro. The Resident Police Academy will also be opening shortly, correct? All right. So two great opportunities. Fire is open currently and police will be opening shortly. So keep your eye out for those two. A reminder for council, our budget work sessions will be April 21st through the 23rd, starting at 4 p.m. They will be special meetings, so the residents can join on virtually to hear what is going on and what we are looking at in terms of budget this year. The budget presentation will be made at the April 7th meeting. Also, before our next council meeting, we will be having a special hearing for a club liquor license for Diamond Dogs. That will be on April 7th at 5:30 p.m. If any residents have comments to make or anything like that, they do have to be submitted in writing. They can before the meeting, so that's before April 7th. Any comments, objections, or support would need to be submitted in writing to the clerk's office, and then those will be read out. You can attend the special meeting, but all statements would have to be made ahead of time. Calendars are out, so everyone should have gotten their calendar. If you haven't received your calendar, there are some here at the Township Building and also at JFK Center. All right. And then Oh, I wanted to also underscore the police note. Please lock your car doors. Um, I experienced my car be broken into over the weekend. I wanted to spend a special thank you to Patrolman Anderson and Quinones for their support in that matter and quick response to actually apprehend the person. So thank you to our Willingboro's finest. And please make sure you lock your doors, be kind to one another, and have a wonderful evening. We do have executive session this evening. It is anticipated to be about 30 minutes or less. And Madam Clerk, I will ask that we move forward with Resolution 2026-82.
Can I get a motion to come, excuse me, can I get a motion for Resolution 82, resolution authorizing a closed executive session in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 for matters of personnel and attorney-client privileges. Can I get a motion to go in executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman Perone. Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson, Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. All right, Madam Clerk, we'd like to come out of executive.
Can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Roll
Council,
call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Deputy Dr. Worthy.
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. All right, we do have one item, resolution as we come out of executive.
Can I get a motion for resolution 2683, a resolution of the Township of Willingboro, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, to extend resolution 2589 by 30 days?
So moved.
Second. It's been moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Mayor Whitfield.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Deputy Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes. That is all we have for tonight, Madam Clerk.
Okay. The time,
Motion
motion
to
to
adjourn.
adjourn.
We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Good night, Willingboro.
the time is now 9:54 in Willingboro